Hi guys, it's Austin here, or Luna. How you guys doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day so far, or night, wherever it is where you're watching this. Today's story time is about definitely one of the saddest moments I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't even know how to preface this video. It's a whole situation, okay? And I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it because I definitely enjoy telling it to people, and they seem to enjoy listening. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Leave a like on the video if you guys do enjoy it, and let's jump right into today's story time. So today's story time takes place in 2017, okay? At this time, I was just working on videos, hanging out with friends, just kind of, living a nice summer. It was summertime, it was great, and I had this friend. Let's just call this friend Brian, okay? Brian was dating this girl from our high school, and she was notoriously known to be the hottest girl in school, the most popular, that mean girl type. And yeah, in my opinion, she was pretty mean. In school, whenever I would pass her by, she'd give me dirty looks for no reason. She threw a book at my friend once because he bumped into her on accident. She threw an entire science textbook at my friend in the hallway and nailed him in the head with it. He's like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" And she goes, "You bumped into me." He goes, "It was a fucking accident." And then she threw another book at him. So, needless to say, this girl had an attitude on her, right? So she ends up dating my friend Brian in 2017, in the summer specifically. And the funniest thing about this is Brian was a nerd, a giant nerd, bigger nerd than I am. So it's so funny to see him dating this Miss Popular girl. So, it shocked me. But at the same time, they seemed to be good for each other. I mean, they dated for 6 months, and there was really no problems whatsoever. Until month 6, the final month of the relationship, when it all had to come crashing down and just become this burning pit of fire. So this all starts off as a normal day in 2017, summer 2017, beautiful day outside. I'm sitting on my computer with the window open, enjoying the nice breeze, and one of my friends texts me, not Brian, a different friend, and he's like, "Yo man, I'm having my birthday party tonight, you down to come over?" And I was like, "Yeah man, of course, what time?" He's like, "Come over at 8. I'm like, "Alright, sounds good." And he texts me the address. Now later that night, 8 o'clock comes around, I got dressed, I got ready, I left my house, I went to my friend's house, and he rented this big ass house to throw a party at, and I was just stoked to go inside and hang out with all my friends. So I did. I went inside, I met up with Brian immediately, I hadn't seen him in a while, it'd been a long time. He was there with his girlfriend. Let's just call this girlfriend Hannah, right? So Brian and Hannah, Brian the nerd and Hannah the popular mean girl from high school. They were together there, they were having a good time from what it looked like. No complaints, great party so far. About an hour goes by, and then Brian and Hannah start to argue. They start to really get into it. And I walk up there, and I'm surprised because I see them arguing, and I've never seen them argue before. They always had a really, healthy seeming relationship, and they were getting into, a pretty serious argument at this party. They were yelling at each other. Hannah accused him of cheating. And listen, like I said, Brian's a fucking nerd, okay? Nerds are the most loyal human beings on planet Earth, alright? They're not gonna cheat on you. So I knew Brian wasn't cheating. That was a wild accusation to make. And Brian literally said that. He's like, "Hannah, I'm a fucking loser. I'm not cheating on you." And I'm like, "Hey, Brian, you're not a loser. Don't call yourself that." He goes, "Yeah, whatever." And they keep arguing. So they argue for 15 more minutes to the point where Brian's girlfriend just turns around and leaves and just walks away. And I thought she left the party, but she must have went somewhere else. And Brian immediately bursts into tears after she walks away. I'm like, "Yo, Brian, what's wrong? What's good?" He's like, "I don't know, man. We're not good right now, me and her. We keep fighting. She's accusing me of cheating on her. I think she's cheating on me. Things aren't good right now." And I'm like, "Dude, how long has it been like this?" He's like a whole month. I'm like, "Man, you guys got to communicate. You can't just yell at each other like that. That's not healthy." He's like, "I know, man. I've been trying to get her to talk more openly and calmly about it, but she doesn't listen. We start talking and it just leads to yelling and we start accusing each other of shit." And I was like, "All right, man. Well, listen. Just live for tonight. Enjoy the party, okay? And then tomorrow you can handle all this, all right? Don't stress. You guys are going to be fine." He's like, "Thank you, bro. I appreciate you." I'm like, "Yeah, man. No problem." So anyway, Brian starts to feel a little bit better 30 minutes later. My friend on aux started playing some songs that Brian liked. Brian started dancing like a dumbass, started smiling. He started having a good time. It was good to see Brian happy. And then, of course, it all had to go wrong. So 30 minutes later, I had to go to the bathroom. Now, this is a new house I was in. My friend was renting it for the night to throw his party there. So I go upstairs searching for the bathroom because I needed to go to the bathroom. And I opened the first door upstairs to see if that's the bathroom, and it wasn't. It was some bedroom, but it was empty. So I closed that door and I go to the next one. I open that one, and this one was also a bedroom, but this time there were people in it. Yeah, I open the door and I see Brian's girlfriend on the bed, and she's not with Brian. she's with someone else. Actually, there's a twist to this story time. I open that bedroom door, and she's not just with one guy. She's with two people from the party. These two Chads from my high school, and they were in there hooking up or something. Now, immediately when I open the door and I notice this, they see me, and I slam the door shut and walk the other way because I'm not about to stand there and stare at them doing whatever they're doing because I don't care. I just want to go back downstairs and find Brian now so I can tell him that his girlfriend is a cheater. So I'm going downstairs trying to find Brian, and all of a sudden, I get a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around, and it's none other than Brian's girlfriend, Hannah. She's staring at me. I'm like, hey, what's up, Hannah? How you doing? And she goes, Austin, like, please, please, please don't tell Brian what you just saw. Like, please. I'm like, why would I not tell him what I just saw? You were just cheating on him with two people. Like, how do you cheat twice in one night? Like, come on. And she goes, Austin, like, please, please don't tell him. I'm like, why wouldn't I? Give me one good reason why. She goes, because he loves me, and if you tell him, you're going to ruin his whole world. I was like, if I don't tell him and let you keep cheating on him for all this time, his world's going to be even worse when he finds out. And she goes, Austin, I promise, this is the first time I've ever cheated on him. I've never cheated on him prior to this. Like, trust me, I haven't. I'm like, okay, that doesn't matter. He still deserves to know. And then she gets mad at me and throws her drink down on the ground all over my shoes and goes, Austin, just shut the fuck up. Why do you have to instigate everything? I'm like, instigate? You cheated on my best friend. Of course I'm going to fucking tell him. And right as I said that, I looked to my left, and there was people staring at me because we were yelling. And Brian was one of them, and he heard what I said. And he walks up to us, and he goes, what'd you just say? And I was like, dude, your girlfriend's cheating on you. She just cheated on you with two dudes upstairs in one of the guest bedrooms. He goes, are you fucking serious? I was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. He goes, you saw this? I'm like, yeah. And Hannah just looks at him like these guilty eyes. And Brian looks at her and he goes, it's all good, Hannah. Don't worry about it. Can I borrow your phone for a second so I can call an Uber back home? I want to leave. And she goes, yeah, like, where's your phone? He goes, it died. And she goes, oh, okay, well, here's mine. And he grabs her phone and he orders an Uber off her phone. And the whole time we're just standing there awkwardly, like there's silence around us, like the music stopped. It was so weird. And I look at Brian and I'm like, yo, man, like, are you sure you're okay with what she just did to you? Like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, man, don't worry. So then the Uber pulls up, and he doesn't hand her her phone back, and he goes, all right, well, have a good life, fuck you. And she goes, what? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, give me my phone back. He goes, no, I bought you this phone last week for your birthday. It's mine now. And he just walked out of the door and stole her phone. And she goes, did he just steal my phone? I was like, yeah, well, it's kind of what you get for cheating on him. And she goes, fuck you, Austin. And she turns around and walks away. Now, after this, I did not want to be there anymore, so I left the party and I Ubered to Brian's house to check on him. I got there, I walked in. He's sitting in his living room just hanging out, watching some Netflix. I'm like, yo, Brian, man, you okay? He's like, honestly, man, I saw this shit coming. Doesn't surprise me. I don't care. I got a phone out of it. I was like, yo, you really just going to keep that? He's like, fuck yeah, I am. I paid for it, and she cheated on me with two people. So yeah, surprisingly, Brian was not upset at all. Like, I'm sure he was upset, but he wasn't like crying or like, super sad, it seemed. He just seemed like over it. And yeah, after this night, Hannah tried to call him like every day for the next 2 weeks, trying to talk to him. And me, him, and a few friends were getting burgers one night, and I saw Brian's phone ringing on the table. I was like, oh, looks like Hannah got a new phone. And we all just started laughing. And Brian's like, yeah, I guess she did. And yeah, after that, Brian just stayed single for a few months, kind of just enjoyed the single life, and he ended up finding someone else a few months later. So yeah, I'd say it was a happy ending for everybody, except Hannah, because, she got caught cheating and lost her phone. So, didn't really get a W for Hannah. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of today's story time. Moral of the story is, stay loyal, honestly. Hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Pace on back, I don't wanna look back, I don't want it like that. I've been going too fast, all the girls like that, and the fake ones wanna see my pulse go